Hello and welcome to tonight's Breathe and Feel. Thank you so much for joining me. And for those of you who are here in the moment live physically, thank you. I always enjoy chatting beforehand. It just makes this all a little more personal and a little more fun. And, sometimes a lot of us have been friends on Facebook or chatting. And so it's fun to always get a chance to see people a little bit closer to in person. And for those of you that are listening later, thank you so much for being here and for joining and for bringing your unique energy tonight. We have a wonderful group, and the energies have been starting to come through for hours. So let's just all start with a good deep breath. Take a moment, really feel yourself right here, right now. Feeling your presence. And if you don't really feel your presence so much, where the mind is, well, what am I feeling? Just feeling. That's it. Just feeling. And more and more and more as you feel, you begin to feel this beingness about you. And whether it's warm, whether it feels light, whatever it is, take a breath and feel yourself fully right here, right now. And again, I want to thank each of you. And this event, this creation is really about taking that time, this hour, to breathe and feel. And in the presence, in this energy field that we create, we are bringing up, unveiling the energies that are ready to leave. And we all have them. No matter what you're going through, there are energies that are ripe, we'll say, these certain constructs that are ripe for the picking, and they're just ready to fall off the tree. And we are just kind of shining the light on that tree a little bit, giving it a little shake so that this old fruit can fall off and make way for new life, new leaves, new buds. And it's really beautiful how we can do this alone. Of course, the breathing, the feeling, yet when we come together in presence, it helps gently move the energies in a whole new way. And it's sort of like when there's really hard things to feel or move, energies that are more difficult. Most folks here tonight are members or fans of the Crimson Circle. And it's like doing a marab, right? It's not a Damas that is bringing the energy. It's not his energy. It's not the energy really of Saint Germain. It's the energy of the Shambra, of the collective that is listening, that he's bringing through. And that Jeff is being the conduit to help bring that through. We'll call it the lightning rod, the center point. So each of you tonight, the energies that are coming through, you've helped create them. They're specifically and uniquely for you. And that's what we do here, is welcome the most unique, personalized, perfected, divinely orchestrated energies to come through from your self, your creator self, even beyond the soul level into you as the I am, as creator. And of course, ask and you shall receive. And then when we bring these energies together, it becomes extra, extra beautiful, amplified in a very light and loving way. So I absolutely love to feel each week that we do this, the uniqueness in the energies and also in the messages that I have the great honor of bringing through. So thank you. So we'll start now really tuning inward. Take that extra moment, make sure you're good and comfortable. I always stress this because as you become fully relaxed, when your brain goes from alpha into theta, and theta waves is where the brain heals, and you could say where it begins to clear out the subconscious. You could say collapsing the old dimensions, releasing the old aspects, integrating the old aspects. When your brain goes into theta, at times the body becomes so relaxed. You want to make sure that all your joints are comfortable, your head is supported, maybe you have a little blankie, whatever it is, so that the body can fully, fully let go without feeling like it's got to hang on at all. So now turning inward, feel your breath. And if you feel called to breathe down deep in your belly or deep in your breath, go ahead and do it. But it's really more about letting that breath flow and letting your awareness merge and meld with the ebb and flow of your breath. It's really in this ebb and flow, riding the waves, the rise and fall of your belly, your chest. It is in this ebb and flow that time disappears. You become completely timeless. So let's not worry if the breath is slow or fast, deep or shallow. Even sometimes the mind gets involved and is like almost trying to manage the breath. So we're just going to let the mind do whatever. Who cares, right? You and the mind, the mind is no match for your creator essence. So we just disregard it and simply feel the rise and fall, the ebb and flow, letting your breath be what it is, letting your awareness start to travel along inside of your body. And as I continue to talk, just let my voice be in the background. Your primary awareness is your breath, your body, just feeling. I could sit for hours and just feel. Actually, I do sit for hours and just feel. There's so much amazing sensations continuously evolving, expanding, sometimes pushing and pulling inside of our bodies. And as you feel this, it is dissolving. It is that direct and that simple. So no matter what arises, just know that there's nothing you need to do to change, to fix, to heal, to command anything. You can just let your essence, your awareness dissolve whatever you feel. And it's also a good reminder that the more we go here, the more we feel, sometimes the funkier it feels because we haven't been embodied into certain areas of our body. There's areas that we merge into that were blocked, closed off, had other energies. And as we're merging in, it feels funky. It feels like pressure, or, you get these jolts, these sudden movements, little seizure, spasmy type things. And that's completely normal. And yes, discomfort, uncomfortable sensations. And that's why I'm here, hopefully, to offer you a little distraction by guiding you through this. So I'll give you a few moments just to flow with your breath. And as we're here, letting yourself start to open, open, open. Feeling your body open. Letting every muscle soften, release, relax, decompress. And with each inhale, feeling this opening, expansion, and with each exhale, an opening and an expansion, and not trying to force it, we'll say, letting yourself drift gently on the inhales and exhales, and welcoming the energies that are here for us tonight. We have a very palpable Kwan Yin energy tonight. Very, very light, feminine energy. And sometimes on these calls, we have these really powerful creator source energies that come through. But tonight, we're going to welcome this beautiful, feminine, pure gold. We'll call it rose gold energy. And just open, open, open. And with each breath, let the breath be gentle. No need to even try to deepen your breath. Let it flow however. So we're handing over all the control, all the management that we normally would do to the body. Your body knows how to breathe. So we let the body take care of the body, and this beautiful essence of Kwan Yin and you, it's not one thing. It's always a blend. So when I do these events, it's like multiple, we have a multiple masters here helping to balance and support the energies. So welcome your team. Welcome them in. They're here to help. And God, this journey would have been really hard to do alone. So always, always welcoming your team to walk by your side. And start to open, 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 knowing that whatever you feel, whatever arises within the body or even the energies around you is absolutely perfect. It's perfectly divine. And letting that beautiful energy start to flow into every cell of your body. Just a gentle flush and flow with the inhales and exhales. And as we're right here, feeling the breath, flowing with the breath, not a care in the world. So right here, right now, nothing else exists. Maybe even feeling that nothingness, that emptiness within you start to grow and grow. Right now, there's nothing to achieve, nothing to become. You already are. I already am that I am, and so are you. So you already are everything you could ever dream of being. So let's have nothing to fix, no worries, no problems. Poof, just let them dissolve into your breath, feeling the embrace of this energy. Feeling the embrace of you, as Kwan Yin is a facet of all of us. So it's just you coming in another costume to hug and hold and embrace you. And as we welcome in this softness, this lightness, let's let it flush through any harshness within our bodies, our minds. We have no battles to fight, no mountains to climb. It's more like this energy comes through and carries us through the battles unscathed. But there is a key, and that is the trust, the letting it flow through, the willingness to hand everything over to ourself. So allow yourself to continue to marinate in your breath, in this energy, just letting it come through and gently love you from the inside out, feeling the love, the sweetness, the lightness. And if you're not feeling that, then fully allowing whatever feeling moves through and trusting that if it's anything else, that it is simply an old energy dissolving away. And I'm going to give you another moment just to stay with your breath as we go into tonight's topic. It's really about the balance between being gentle and firm. So as you feel the gentleness in your breath, feel how steady. Notice how the lungs fill on their own. It's a constant breath. The inhales go into the exhales with no work. The breath of life is steady. It is consistent. And the more we embody, the more we allow ourselves to embody and flow through, the more consistent we become while we are flexible and soft. And feeling this great, great gift of the breath. Maybe you feel the heart beating, which is another gift that happens all on its own. All right, so stay with your breath. Keep feeling. Just breathe and feel as we go into this topic of soft and strong. And this is really about softly but firmly persevering through all of the cycles of embodiment. Because as we chose this journey, which you could say the real you chose it, and then the human you obviously said yes because you're here. So as you unanimously said yes to embodied realization, then all the energies sped up and came rushing in to usher out the old patterns so that you could be done with the old energies, so that your body and your layers, ethereal layers, the bodies of consciousness that the human has, so that they could be released of these energies, so that then you could vibrate off the planet, meaning no longer caught up in the gravity of mass consciousness. In the old days, they would say caught in the karmic lattice work. So now we are lightening up the body, lightening up, lightening up, lightening up. And we just continue to lighten up the body, which is amazing, but it is at times very uncomfortable. So let's acknowledge that and how we can dance with it and flow through all of the things that happen. So of course, as we go through the spiral, phase after phase or layer after layer, whatever you want to call it, we're simply bringing in what we've always been and exploring what that's like in a body, exploring more of who am I in a body, because you've always been you. You have nothing to achieve. There's no goals you could ever have other than having fun exploring what it's like in a body. And honestly, the goal of embodied realization, well, it's already done. I mean, you already woke up. It's inevitable. You'd have to work really hard to to slow it down because it's happening so fast. It's happening at incredible speed, such a speed that at times it is hard for our physical bodies. And when you're going at this breakneck speed of this is it, this is my life, I'm all in, then essentially we come to a point where we're moving as fast as we can for the physical body, and your physical body is always in a state of catching up. And your body comes with the mind. So your dear, beautiful body and your dear, beautiful mind are doing their utmost. They're doing their best. So let's just take a breath and give them a good job, good job. Thank you, body. Thank you, mind. Good job, good job, good job. Giving our team, our closest team being that of our body and our mind with us, letting them know they're doing a great job and to keep speeding up, keep catching up with us. So going through these changes takes a lot of finesse, awareness. In fact, it will take all of your awareness to have the most finesse and to do this without suffering. And I will repeat that, to do this without suffering. So I'm going to start today by just sharing an example of how our bodies need to catch up and doing it without suffering. So last week, I was incredibly busy, busier almost than ever. And for 6 days straight, I was teaching yoga classes at all different places in town and online, and had events with family and friends and shopping, and just every day seemed to fly by into the next. And I was in presence the entire time, just fully in presence, flowing through it, amazed at how this flow just went so well. On day 7, which was Sunday, the body just, I would say, had about 3 hours of crying. So I grabbed a box of tissues. I happened to watch a television show. I was taking the day off after the busy week, and it just triggered these emotions. And with the emotions that were leaving, there was really no story. I mean, I can intuit, oh, this is related to this or that. I can feel it off in the distance. But on these days where the body is catching up, there's no judgment of it. There's no resistance to it. Oh, great. Yeah, this huge release. And I'm not going to pretend it was like all giggles. It was, it didn't feel great. It was like parts that felt like they were dying, and it just felt very heavy. So the energies that were leaving were very, very heavy. And of course they were, because the week prior, I moved continuously in presence, and also a lot of very physical movement with yoga, with very physical exercise, which also moves a lot of energy through the body. So after watching TV that night and crying, then the next thing was, I was urged by myself, my team, whatever, to go for a drive, which felt great, to just get out of the house at 9 p.m. and ran to the store and came home. And then it was as though a light shower was happening for hours, just light pouring in. And that was yesterday. And then I woke up today feeling great. and actually having this energy coming through for tonight's event, a very, very silent, beautiful, energetic day. So it's not to say that when our bodies catch up or when we are full on in the flow, that the bodies don't release and that we don't feel heaviness. We feel it, but there's no resistance. And that is really important for all of us, that we don't go into stories, into resistance, into why is this happening? And there's a disclaimer with everything I share, because there's times where you want to sit down and look at some things, right? If there's still judgments in your psyche, then you want to resolve them and bring them into full acceptance, into seeing the beauty in everything and how it served you and how everything did benefit you in your life and is benefiting you in your life right now. And sometimes the benefit is that we have resistance or a bump and fall, tiredness, something that puts us out, that puts us off on the sidelines for a while for a number of reasons. And that can be that parts of us don't want to move forward. It can also be that we really could use the rest for our bodies to catch up. Quite often, these things come back around to show us something, to show us things within ourselves. And the beautiful thing is they'll keep coming around until it happens again and again and again. And then we go, oh, you know what? I'm beyond that. If this would have happened to me a year ago or 5 years ago, I would have done this or I would have done that or I would have gone. And so it's so important that all along the way you are celebrating yourself for how far you've come. And the thing to watch out for when the clearing times come, when the heaviness, the heavy energies come, is for the old aspects to come around, and they will try to seduce you back into old patterns, old habits. And a lot of times those old habits are shutting down, withdrawing, pulling away, things that stop you from moving forward. And the old aspects are invested in keeping you vibrating at where you're at. So you moving forward is tremendously scary for your aspects. They're scared shitless, honestly, because they know that they know what is going on. They have this awareness that they're dying. So the key here is really, how can we be as soft and gentle and kind to ourselves as possible, while simultaneously taking little bitty steps forward, so that we're not stopping? Because when we stop and we get stuck in the mud, it's sort of like quicksand. We kind of sink a little deeper. And then there's moments where it feels like, I don't know, how did I ever think that I was flowing so good last week or last month or whatever? And then the mind will play this trick that, oh no, see, you're not. Those aspects will pull every trick in the book to convince you that maybe you just need to sit in the mud. You need to sit here and recoup your energy. But that's actually not really how it works. And yes, I highly encourage, if you're feeling the call to be with yourself, to breathe, to feel, to do it. And if you've been really, really disciplined about doing that type of work, then maybe you also need to have a fun day And so we always need to take little breaks consciously. And sometimes the best break is I'm taking the day off. I'm having a staycation. I'm just going to stay home, do what I want, or go walking or do whatever. And that's absolutely fine because the tendency is to pressure ourselves. The ego loves to beat you down. You got to do this. You got to move forward. You got to try harder. You got to work harder. You got to be more disciplined. And that energy alone makes you not want to do anything, really. That type of motivation doesn't really work in the new energy. It really has to be a choice that you make from your heart. So just taking that feel now as you're fully connected to yourself in this space of clarity. Let's welcome forth your higher levels, your higher consciousness, the rest of yourself. And just ask, show me, what are the little steps that I could take today? And I find it's usually the first things that come to mind. And quite often it's the things that the mind would disregard. Oh no, it couldn't possibly be that. Go to the casino and gamble tonight? No, no, no. But sometimes it is fun things. Fun things that are, we'll say, the opposite of survival, that challenge the survival mentality. So if you've been working really hard, then ask to be shown what is something light and easy. I want to take a day off. And that day off absolutely positively might be just breathing, feeling, napping, walking. My days off usually involve no big activities. But if you haven't allowed yourself to have a lot of fun, then maybe there is something fun that calls to you and trying something brand new. Maybe it's going to the amusement park and riding a roller coaster or going to outdoor music or something like this that is out of your wheelhouse. And just as quickly, if you're someone who has been, we'll say, more social, more connecting with people, it's perfectly fine to give yourself permission to take time alone and feel your presence and just be with yourself. That could be a step forward for someone who's been very busy. And it can be an uncomfortable step. And that's why we're here tonight, because we can come and be in presence together and just encourage each other. And so going back to the old habits that would have us shutting down, it's kind of funny because not only do these old aspects sometimes want to shut us down, but I'm going to say they almost always like to criticize you. And these are all ways to have you not move forward. Because every step you take on this path, every single step you take, an old energy blazes away and more of you comes in. And that is taking the steps in the direction of joy, of enjoyment, of freedom, of love. Every single step is important. So no step is too big and no step is too little. But the more you step, more of you merges in through your body and starts to carry you along. And of course, the old is dying off. So, these old voices have interesting things to say about you moving forward, like, whether it's how you look, your hair, your skin, your clothes, the way you present yourself in the world. What are you doing with your life? It could be financial. We don't have the money for this, this, or this. It could also just be that you're despicable. That one is very common. Unworthy, unlovable. And this is all an act to keep us separate, to keep us in separation. Because if we stay separate from others, and it doesn't mean we're with other people 24/7, it just means that when we connect with others, we feel how lovable we are. So take a breath and feel how lovable you are. You are love. So of course you're lovable. You're perfect. You're beautiful. You're divine. There's not a thing to change about you. And your human body, you're not your body. So let's ditch all the body identification about our skin, our hair, our age, our face, our clothes, this is all old energy, ego, and it is not loving. It's not loving for ourselves. And your mind, how smart, how witty, how funny, how this, that, or the other thing you are. Let's let ourselves be the most bland, the most dumb, the most obnoxious, or the most quiet. It doesn't matter what our human expression is, as long as you just let yourself be you. You're perfect as you are. So any judgment that is placed upon you, the most important thing is to remember this is not true. It's not true about me. Oh, that's the ego. It's just trying to suck me down. And sometimes it comes from other people, but as we allow the ego to fling these judgments at us, whether it's about how you're living life, how far you are in your life, where you're at, where you should be at, any judgment, anything that is a criticism, it is flat out trying to pull you back rather than uplift you. So you know that it is not truth. And it's not really serving you anymore. So let's take a breath and welcome all these energies. I'm going to say all the not so nice voices tonight. We're going to welcome this harshness to arise and to come forward. And so take a deep breath into your body and let's light it up, amplifying, lighting it up, letting it light up, light up, light up, letting you light up. And as you are lighting up, as you are merging in, you are pushing these voices to the surface. So whatever comes to mind for you right now, maybe there is a thought, but you need not even have the thought. You can simply feel. So let any sensations in your body move through. And if you have the awareness of these naysayers that have been coming around, trying to bring you down, you just goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Hand it over to yourself. Not mine, not mine, and not mine. And it's not even true because it never, ever, 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 none of it was ever true about you. So let's welcome more of our light to pour in through the whole body, from the crown of your head. We're welcoming this light to pour through from head to toe. Let it flow all through your head, neck, shoulders, down through your arms, all the way through your heart center, letting your heart fill up and open even more, all the way down through your solar plexus, down through your creator chakra, down through the root and filling up your legs and your feet, And truly, we are collapsing all the separation. So we are collapsing all the chakras, becoming one huge portal of light in a body. So just feel that big portal opening, amplifying, radiating. And this is the flow. This is you flowing through, moving the old out, bringing the new in. And just relaxing into it now, whatever you're feeling. It's like taking a deep sigh, and surrendering to yourself. When the discomforts arise in your body, you take a deep sigh and you surrender. You wave the white flag. Okay, I give up. Self, take it. My creator self, you take it. I give up. We surrender these energies over to ourself, funny enough. And letting everything continue to speed up, amplify, lighten up, brighten up, feeling your physical body getting brighter and brighter, lighter and lighter. So it's not a thought, it's a feeling. And the more you feel your brightness and your lightness, the more brighter and lighter you become. It's where you place your consciousness. So the more you tune in, you turn the dial to this brightness, this radiance, and you feel it. You say, yes, thank you. Oh, that feels so good. Yes. Ooh, yes. It just amplifies and amplifies. So feeling that excitement, that gratitude, you could call it gratitude of this brightness. When you feel the light pouring in, you say, yes, thank you. Ooh, yeah, I feel myself. That feels good. And it just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. So we surrendered all this over to ourself. Oh, thank you, self. Thank you, body. You guys got it. Good. Now I can just nap or breathe, feel. Personally, I like to feel this. I like to feel this sometimes for hours and just feel this radiance. It just grows and grows and grows, and it will blast old energies away. And you can suddenly get up and say, oh, I feel better now. Just like that, just a huge shift. And this is whatever you want to call it. If you want to call it light technology, this is you. It's simply you, the miracle of divinity of God. And this is where we bypass so much mental stuff, and there's nothing to fix because we don't have to even direct it where to go. It knows where to go. It knows a lot more than we do. Your higher consciousness knows every ache in your body, every concern in your mind, every aspect of your life. It knows it inside and out. And so you can just say, bring me the most perfect cocktail of light, and sit back and breathe and welcome it in that direct. And then, of course, memories, maybe awarenesses pop up. Great. Okay. We don't need to really get involved. In fact, I probably would say my specialty is not getting involved. And so I don't know. I don't have a lot of human knowledge intellectually about anything spiritual. But who cares? It is whether or not we want to, if we enjoy that, great. If you just want to go direct and zoom right through it, let the light do the work. And of course, as you're feeling this light, this amplification, this radiance, this brilliance within you, it just keeps lighting up, lighting up, lighting up, and you are feeling your presence. It is one and the same, for it is your presence, your essence, which is beyond energy, that is creating this light. It is you taking your focus into light and creating it just like that, bringing in new energy. And so then if we want to direct it anywhere, take a breath and send it. Say, I'd like to direct some of this here or there. without any agenda, without an end goal, I'll say. So maybe it's to your physical body. If you have something going on that is in repair mode in your physical body, say, okay, let's send some of this light to this situation. And that's it. No more. Or maybe you have something that has to do with work or your home. I've done this with my home or places I've stayed. I send some of it ahead so that the place can be all lit up when I arrive and I'm not feeling any old energies there. So you can, when you're feeling this radiance, if you'd like, you can direct it, but you need not. You can also say, all right, higher levels, take command and send this wherever it's going to most benefit my life. That is my favorite, is always to hand it over because I don't know what I don't know. This mind will never house even a small portion of my wisdom. The mind can never be anywhere near as knowledgeable as you are, and we can only bring so much through the mind. So why make it hard on yourself? Let go of the responsibility and say, all right, I really don't want that responsibility. Higher levels, higher self, creator self, I am that I am. Take command. You take care of it. You direct this. Take this over for me. Okay, great. So let's let your body keep speeding up and speeding up and speeding up, just blasting away some of that old overlay. Yes, so now that we have surrendered, this is where sometimes it gets a little tricky, that we are surrendering all this over to ourself, knowing full well, it's taken care of. Now, what do we do? What do we do? That's the question, because we have to live, right? We don't have to, but we're all choosing life. So here we are. So the stuff that is leaving your body right now, if you have some old resistance, I guarantee we've just lit it up. And whether it's tonight, tomorrow, or the next day, it's going to be right there looking you in the face. It's going to be, so you've cleared this, we're moving it out of your body. And it's like it's still floating here. Some of it is still floating in the air because until you physically integrate, it doesn't completely leave. It can't, because it's going to hang here and say, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure you're done with me? Because you created me for a purpose. And everything we've created was created for a purpose, and it served. So it's important to have that awareness. And then as it's here, you're going to get up the next day, and whatever the resistance is, if it's the, I don't want to, I don't know, leave the house, it's going to be sitting there, pressing down on you a little bit, trying to keep you from taking that step forward. And perhaps you've decided, I really, really want to go to nature. I want to go to the park. I love the park. And there's going to be a little nag yet going, yeah, but it's a long drive and I don't have the money for gas, or I don't want to pack up, or it's going to be cold, or whatever that is. So this is where we have to step up and walk our walk. And this is where it is so tremendously helpful to get clear inside, taking as much time as that takes you, whether it's sitting down, having a chat with yourself, journaling, whatever it takes you to get 100% clear in your body, your mind, yourself, all layers, all levels of you. You know what? This is what I'm deciding to do. And I really want to do this, and I'm going to do it. And that's that. Energy, serve me. Boom. And that way, when this little doubt monger comes up, you just go, no, nope, you're not serving me anymore. No, thank you. And then you step beyond it. And at times it does feel like stepping over a huge threshold, like walking through mud, at times you will feel these aspects crying and screaming behind you. No, I don't want to, or this is hard, or I don't want to do this, or blah, blah, blah. And that's where once you're clear within yourself, yes, this is the choice I want to go, then they have no more say. And every step you take in that direction, they finish dissolving away. They finally lose their whole grasp, because every step you take, every action, and I'm talking now, it could be writing, it could be talking like I am, creating something, it could be just going to the store, it could be gardening. But in this action, when we are expressing, spirit came here to express. Your expression is the secret juice, we'll say, to clearing out the old and bringing in the new. Because this stuff is dissolving in our presence right now. But as you express, as you move, physically get moving, this energy of you flows through the physical body. It flows like a river, and it expands and it radiates. And how joyful is it sometimes, whether you're out gardening or out in nature, or maybe talking to friends, laughing, that energy just boom. Now it really blasts the last bits away. So presence is always key. Doing everything in presence is where this stuff all starts to unveil. And of course, we can hand it over to ourself, and you, the real you, is always collapsing these old dimensional energies and bringing more of you in. But it really is in that movement where we start creating, even if it's choosing to watch a funny movie for some, whatever this activity is that you choose. But of course, when we're expressing with our voice, when we're maybe writing and it's something we feel passionate about, when this expression comes from your heart, from your core, the core of your being, it is just loaded with pure energy. It is you flowing through the body. And this is where things really start to go into hyperdrive, where you just start quantum leaping. And there's no race, there's no big hurry, because it's already done. But it is absolutely where we go from surrender into choosing, and then choosing to become so solid in our choice that no energy could hold us back. And then there is great, great satisfaction in taking those steps, even as sometimes these will say, maybe it's fear. Oh no, what about this? What about that? Maybe it's something to criticize you. Oh no, look what you're doing. This is dumb, or, blah, blah, blah. There's great satisfaction once you have made the choice. This is what I'm doing. I am solid 100% in my choice. You can watch these old echoes with a smile on your face because you're not going to give in. It almost becomes humorous to hear the ego complaining and whining because you're just like, too late, I got this. And of course, there are times as we are choosing, as we are stepping more into that firm choice and then taking action, that these rough energies come out of the body. And it doesn't always feel pretty. It doesn't always look super delicate, we'll say. Sometimes, we move through some stuff that is pretty rough. And it's messy and it's beautiful. So it's really important to embrace the mess. But you will perhaps too find there are times when you've made these clear choices that the toughest of aspects, the most stubborn ones, will be buggers. They will not want to let go. And on occasion, you may or may not, but this topic came up with somebody the other day, so I want to make sure we touch on this. You may find yourself suddenly feeling this roar of anger within your body. For example, if there's an old fearful aspect saying, don't go there, no, whatever, really projecting energetically at you, and you've had enough, you may find a big burst of energy from within you that feels like anger, and tell it to be gone. So we see how these aspects served us, we appreciate it, and yet there are some occasions where the soft, cuddly approach doesn't work for everyone. And usually this is something that just arises naturally. So when you're going through this, stepping through this, these thresholds, through these energy barriers, if you find yourself proclaiming, be gone, I'm done with you, in a not so kind voice, just know that that is your consciousness matching the energy of this aspect. So if it has a lot of dense, harsh energy and it's really not dissolving away, sometimes that blast of light from you of be gone is what it takes to meet it, to match it in intensity. And not ever, 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 ever judging yourself. So let's take another breath now. Feel your body. Letting the body continue to speed up and continuously recalibrate. Continuously recalibrating as we're in presence. The body can be regenerating, recalibrating, rebalancing, and staying in a beautiful state of constant regeneration. So to wrap this up tonight, the final message about being soft and strong, about surrender and stepping forth, being able to be the sweetest, most surrendering aspect, to just let everything be handled for you, and the ability to be the badass. It's all within us and it all serves. But the important thing is, all along the way, if there's one thing to take away, always, it is no matter what you choose, no matter what you do or don't do, let it be perfect. At the end of the day, go to bed and say, I bless this day. It is done and it was perfect. It is complete and it is perfect as it only could be. I'm right where I'm meant to be. My body's right where it's meant to be. My life is exactly where it's meant to be. This life is unfolding perfectly. Everything is in divine alignment. Thank you. It is done. And in this way, we always have closure. And it's very helpful when you go to bed at night to do something like this, to acknowledge that everything is perfect and that there's no problems to fix. There's nothing to solve or resolve. For when you go to sleep, this allows your body to regenerate. The mind can go on vacation. There's nothing to do. It's all in divine order. And again, the most important thing you can do, period, is to never, ever, ever judge yourself. Whatever you do or don't do, wherever you've been, wherever you're going, it doesn't matter. Enlightenment is the absence of judgment. That was the Dalai Lama. It is the absence of judgment, and it starts with you. So be your own best friend, be your own cheerleader, be your own biggest supporter. Tell yourself every step you take, whether it's just, I don't know, getting yourself a glass of milk out of the fridge. Good job, good job, good job. Be silly about it. When you get out of bed, good job, you woke up. When you take a shower, wow, good job, you smell good. So good job, good job, good job. And that really does keep us rolling through the changes. If you cheer yourself on every step of the way, I know this might sound a little silly, but it's actually very wise. Cheer yourself on, support yourself, be your own best friend. Constantly tell yourself how great you are, how perfect you are, how awesome you are. Yeah, I am that I am. I'm not the human. I'm not the body. I'm not the hair. I'm not the face. I'm not the clothes. I'm not even the personality. Okay, we know that. I'm really not Kathy. I'm just the consciousness coming through a body that was named Kathy at birth, whatever. I'm not even a human. I've been everywhere, done everything, and so have you. We are multidimensional beings. We all here have galactic levels, universal levels, celestial levels, mystical levels. All we've been on every galaxy. We are expanded through every galaxy right now. Sorry, I misspoke. You are everywhere right now. So all this little human stuff is fluff. So everything you can do to love yourself, to cheer yourself on, to be your own supporter is just going to help to accelerate the energies and also just so you can have fun. Like, why not make this as fun as possible? So have a little fun with it and don't judge yourself. Sometimes I'm surprised when I talk to people and I'll say, well, how have you been doing with this? How has your mind been? And I find out they've gone into some kind of self-deprecating judgment. Or maybe the mind was projecting it and they were kind of starting to buy into it. I'll bet you guys can relate to that. It's like been projected at you your whole life. So you kind of automatically believe it. You haven't fully looked at it and gone, oh my God, that's such baloney. So just be aware of anything that is projected that is not kind and supportive of you moving forward, of opening your heart with others, of connecting alone with yourself if that's what you need, of saying no to others with an open heart. Sometimes it's just as important, depending where we're at in our evolution, to say no as it is to be willing to say yes. So being true to yourself, I would say, is the way to put it. Be true to yourself and what you feel, and then choosing from the core, expressing from your heart, from your core. And maybe you also find the motivation. You choose the motivation to add a dose of extra joy to what you do just because you can. Like, good job, you took a shower today. Whatever that is, just bringing the fun, bringing the motivation, bringing the energy to everything you do, which is just bringing more of you through, because you, of course, are always joyful and excited to have a body. So, in the spirit of this final word of whatever you do, never, ever, ever, ever judge yourself. When the ego projects it, to say, that's definitely not true. You don't have to argue, but just know. You just know, this isn't me. That's the clarity. That is so important. So, in the spirit of that, we'll end tonight by taking a deep breath and feeling in your heart, how awesome you are, how lovable you are. You are so lovable, damn perfect, regardless of society's rules or expectations of people. That is bogus. So feel how lovable you are. And then just fully accepting everything about yourself, your body, your mind, your bank account, your life situation, your friends, your family, the way you act, the way you behave, what you do, what you've done, what you haven't done. Feel that acceptance in your heart and welcome more of you through this body to begin to expand more and more and more and more and more in this pure, delicious light. All right. Thank you so very much for joining me tonight. It's been my pleasure as always. Namaste.